My name's James.
I'm Tom.
And we're from Animate.
So we're going to be presenting a basic outline of what Animate's all about, our culture, the work and time that we put into personal projects, and innovation around animation, essentially.
Yeah, we tried to sort of gear it around internal projects as opposed to client work, because we've sort of from the start we've really believed in the power of devoting time to internal projects and what that can bring to a studio culture, so we thought it would be an interesting thing to focus our talk on.
Great. Hello, good evening. Hello. Thanks so much for having us.
Hang on.
Thanks to Nick, Matt, Marlon, everyone at Glug. It's a real pleasure to be here. My name's James. I'm one of the directors of Animate. We're we try and bill ourselves as like a forward-thinking animation company. That's what it is this week, anyway. So
It is indeed. Is this working? Can you hear that? Is that coming through?
So yeah, as I say, my name's James. This is my co-founder and director, Tom.
Hello there. Very nice to meet you all. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, so we're just going to take you through a few bits and bobs that we've done, really, just some of our work. It's sort of broken down into 3 bits, sections, if you will. We're going to talk a bit about our team. We're not going to show any client work. We're just going to show you some of our studio projects. We're really big believers in the power of sort of internal projects, and since the beginning, we've always tried to dedicate as much time as we can to sort of just doing stuff that we like and we hope other people will like. So we're going to talk a bit about
Exactly, James.
that. Yeah.
So from the get-go, Animate became Animate because of stuff we were putting out online, using Vimeo to get our stuff out there. So and recently we did a talk around innovation, and it asked us to kind of look into that and what it was, and it was really incredible because it made us kind of dig into the where we came from side of things. And we suddenly kind of realized how much time and resource we were pushing into exactly that kind of innovating and figuring out what we wanted to do and how that kind of leads through to the client work. So here we go. This is it.
So yeah, Tom and I we've actually known each other since we were 12, I think. Yes. We were in the same class at school, so we've known each other. We can't get away from each other. We're just stuck. And we've been sort of doing work together for a very long time. We both went to the Royal College of Art. I did Design Interactions, which is where I made this. Doesn't like coffee. And the point of showing you this is to sort of say that since we first started doing creative work together, we've always been really interested in this sort of area between technology and character and animation and how those two things can really come together. So this was kind of evident in our university work.
I was on the animation course, and but I was housemate with James, who was showing me all this Arduino stuff. So I was quite interested in how that kind of played through with emotion and eyebrows.
Imagine this happening in your house.
Yeah. So yeah, there was a lot of play, and essentially just really exploring what's possible with code, and suddenly giving somebody what you get from linear animation, giving somebody a bit of control over that, and it's a incredible area which we kind of jumped out of our masters, and we thought, let's set something up that explores that area. And it was tough when it's 2 of you and you're brand new and you're trying to sell that.
It certainly was, yeah. So it was, Tom and I really in an office just around the corner, not much bigger than a shoebox, for a couple of years really. And it was, for a long time, it was just really two freelancers kind of having each other's backs. Just when work was slow on one side, we'd sort of help each other out on the other. But we were always trying to sort of do these projects which were kind of in this area between sort of linear animation and digital. So I come from a technical background, so I was doing sort of basically building websites for people, and Tom was doing sort of linear animation work. And then, when we got time, we sort of did these kind of interesting things between those 2 areas. So yeah, that's really something we've tried to keep as we've grown. So we're up to 15 people full time now.
16
people full time now.
And just hired somebody today. No. Sorry, James.
So
spoil your flow.
Right.
I'll just chip in.
No, it's good to be factually accurate. I like that. So the mix of people is it's designers, it's developers, it's animators, obviously production staff as well. And we're really big believers in the power of having all those people in a room together, like under one roof. We think that's such a valuable and important thing. And it's really been a great catalyst for some of our most memorable projects. There they are. Hard at work.
It.
So, yeah, lovely. So as well as sort of our own creative work, we're big believers in trying to engage with the community through to curation of what the content we think is worthy of of being seen by a larger audience. So we do that through our blogs. We run a blog called Hover States, which is sort of celebrates really interesting interaction design. And we started it about 4 years ago with the idea that we wanted a way to kind of really bring together interesting examples of interaction and what was happening on the internet. And we did that by recording just websites as videos rather than as screen grabs. It became apparent as soon as we started trying to do it that there's a reason that there weren't really very many video blogs of websites, because it's a real pain in the ass to do, and it took a really, really long time to record those videos of websites. Still doing it. But for us, it's been a great way of really engaging with like the edges of the internet, like what are the weird things that people are doing out there, and what kind of new technologies could we be exploring in our own work. And additionally, we also run a blog called Alpha Channel, which tries to do a similar thing for animation. Actually, Animade started as a blog, which I'll let.
So yeah, Alpha Channel is essentially what Animade used to be. I started Animade as a blog when I was in the RCA, keeping just a collection of animations that I loved. So, and that kind of ran through, and it was always there in the background of Animade. And then last year when we rebranded, it felt a bit weird, so we rebranded, reskinned the blog and put it under Alpha Channel. So, I mean, there's a point of difference with Hover States. It's video of websites, whereas Alpha Channel is a collection of animations, and there's lots of them about. So this year we're really keen to take a different spin on it, turn it into a much better archive tool, because, I mean, there's so much blog about current great animation, but there's not a huge amount of archiving tools. So being able to find something that's a bit older, not so current, that's just type in stop motion and you find some great stuff that's really well curated. So that's our plan. That's on the to-do list, which is quite long. So hopefully this year.
Cool. So yeah, we're going to just show you a few of our studio projects now. Yeah, as I said before, it's something we've always believed in. It's really been for a long time our only new business strategy is just to try and make stuff that we hope people like. So yeah, we'll see. So this is something we did right at the beginning of when Animade was Animade.
Yeah, this is you might recognize these. It's a collection of mini tutorials, and essentially when we've got Ed, who's our creative director, on board, he is formidable. His animation prowess is just, it's mind-blowing. So he can sit down, make something move, and you're like, how did you do that? And he can't really explain it. And yeah, unless he kind of shows you how he did it, it's just kind of plugged in. So I was very keen to get him to start doing some tutorials, and then over a beer, we realized those tutorials are always too long, over complex, and take ages to make. So we thought, let's just put this out. So I think it was the first month Animade was running. We were trying to get some work, and we thought in the downtime, let's get this going. It was a very quick like turnaround of each of these, so it was quite nice and trial and error. We could try it out, see how it went down. Got it on Vimeo, and it was really well received, so we kept on doing them. We did 10, and I think this is the whole lot.
I've slipped. My trousers have come off. Oh, it's a lovely day. I'll be off good with you.
There you have
There
it.
you go.
So a big shout out to Ed Barrett, who dances like that.
He does. He's amazing.
It's quite amazing how that kind of comes through in his work, the way he moves. And if you've seen him around the studio, he's always, he's acting things out. That led on to, I think this was start of last year. We slowed down a bit and we thought, let's do something again, get the team together. So by this point, there were 5 animators, and so we sat down, thought about what could be a new kind of learns, as it were, and how we could engage people out there on Twitter. So we just, I can't remember how it came about, but we thought, let's call it props, and people can suggest objects, and we pick one at random and do an animation about it. So again, it was very quick turnaround. Each of the animators in the studio got a week to do that, and it was just weird. But it was a great way for all the guys who work with us to just let their hair down, do something that they just could go mad with, and it became this kind of one-upmanship every week where the person on it had to just kind of outdo the last one. So it just got absolutely crazy. And I mean, this was the first one, and it's quite odd. Is that a GIF? Press the. There we go.
It's a GIF.
There we go. Well, this is that would have summed up exactly what I was saying, James.
Sorry, Tom.
Perfectly. So
We've obviously practiced this.
yeah. So we'll show you the first one. I think it's Ed's. It was kind of a good milestone to work from. It's called Ballsack.
Ballsack. It's called Ballsack.
I don't know where you go from that. But that did lead, weirdly enough, it kind of led into people seeing us and coming to us for client work, which is quite fortunate, because you don't know what the reaction is going to be when you put something like
when
that
you put Ballsack out. It could be anything. So this is actually something that we did right at the beginning of when Animade was first Animade. It's something that
old.
It is old. So it's something that Tom made in really a day or two. But it's something we keep coming back to as like a really great reference point for us, because it's got a really lovely sort of fusion of character and digital and interaction. And we think it's the feeling that it generates is something we constantly refer to. So I'm just going to play it. You know, as a like-hungry young studio, it was a great project for us.
Yeah, and it also, I think I was designing that character to essentially take into a film, make a whole linear animation out of it, and I thought it'd be much quicker. The film was going to be about a like button underneath him, so I thought, let's just see if we can just do this with a sprite sheet and a button. So, and it's a really strange one, because we kind of fell upon it. And now we always hark back to it, because it just kind of distills down our real belief in what the weird relationship between interaction and character, and how you can feel like you're in control, but then all of a sudden, in this case, this character is emoting, and you are kind of becoming the puppet in a way, because you kind of want to please him. So, and through obviously very characterful things like this, right through to a simple button click in a website, that's all really important. So it's fascinating.
So yeah, we did a project called Frankensim last year, and we're going to go into a little bit more detail on that one. So here we go. So it actually came off the back of this short film by one of our animators called Milo. I'll let you watch.
Yeah, so I mean, this was something that whenever there's downtime for our creators, they're just getting on with their personal projects, and we kind of catch up about those. And this was something that Milo did, and it was a lovely concept. And obviously having developers in house, and we just thought, let's crash this together and make it a real thing. So we got Milo together with a developer, gave him a month or so to work on this internal project called Frankensim, and this is the kind of result. And yeah, we'll get through to the good stuff. So this is a screen capture of the live HTML5.
So yeah, it made its way into this is like an actual a website that you can go on, and we just love the aesthetic so much. It just felt so natural to bring it to life in this way. And the idea is it's billed as like a postmodern Prometheus, isn't it? That's what Milo called it.
Catchy.
Yeah. And it's all these sort of little mini apps that interact with one another. I'll just let it play out.
So there's lots of little things in here that we were playing with before anyway, and it gave us a real nice kind of foundation to try out some stuff that wasn't Flash, and it was using our After Effects animation, taking it through the ways we set rigs up, etc., putting it into JavaScript. Yeah, it makes a nice sound as well. Go online. And yeah, so it was great. Milo could rig things up in After Effects as he wanted it, and then just talk to Simon and see what was possible. So there was a lot of back and forth, a lot of innovation, I suppose, because Milo had these grand schemes, and Simon had to try and facilitate. So there was a hell of a lot of back and forth, figuring out how to do things, trying things out, a lot of failing and reacting, and it was great, and it got quite a lot of recognition, so that was very positive. It's worth going on it just for the waggly thing. So is there a link, James? What's the...
anime.tv/Frankensim.
Yeah.
There you go. Just check it out. It's great. Yeah, and it got some really lovely press as well, and it fed back into sort of this people approaching the studio for creative work, so it helped sort of validate that we weren't just doing this for the sake of it. Yeah, and we just want to quickly talk about some of the tools that we make. So we, as well as doing like sort of creative work, we also try and build tools for the creative industry. It's something that we've been sort of doing for ourselves for quite a long time, so we're trying to put more of that back out there. And the first one of these we're doing is called Boards, and it was born out of this problem, as illustrated by this bar chart, that we spend a lot of time doing storyboards, being sort of an animation company. And
6 a day.
6 a day, every day. But we sort of spend the actual time we spend drawing it and doing the actual images for the storyboard is pales in comparison to the amount of time that we would spend in InDesign, shuffling the thing around, dealing with feedback, all of that jazz. So we thought, because we've got developers here, we understand the problem really well, why don't we just build something that solves this problem? So we did. And you'll notice there's some postcards floating around with all this information on, so if you want to check it out, you could. But yeah, it's called Boards, and the idea is that we're just trying to make storyboarding a really simple process. So at its most basic, it's a web app. You can go on there, there'll be a free plan. And the idea is that you basically can just chuck a whole bunch of images into it and get a client-ready PDF out the other end. And it's been a really great thing for us. So we've been using it in production for, over 6 months now. And it's saved us, days of production time. So it's been super, super helpful for us. We've been very lucky that we're able to sort of obviously test it on the fly because we've got people using it in battle situation every day. So it's been a really great process from a product development perspective. But yeah, it's coming out soon. I think there's 12 days to go until the invites start rolling out.
There's a countdow. There's a lot of
we
pressure on
foolishly gave
James's
ourselves
head.
a deadline with a countdown, so we've got to hit that now. But yeah, if you go to boards.com, you can sign up for the waiting list if you're interested. And being an animation company, we made a teaser. So here you go. There you go, Boards.
Very teasing. Yeah. Doesn't give anything away. No. So there's more of them to come, I think.
There
So
are,
quite good fun.
more teasers, all sorts. And then, just very briefly, just to finish, we just want to sort of just show you what we're up to at the moment and what's coming next.
Yes. So I've been working on this whole Animate Tools thing for the last year or so. So internally, we used After Effects for all our animation, and last year I started making a toolbar for our animators to make things quicker. And lots of people started seeing it in some of our workflows and asking about it. So it's been on my to-do list for a year at least to get it out there and see what people think, and just let people explore it, because there's things that are really useful. There's things that are quite fun, like an iRig. There's a video of that on Instagram that we posted today, because I was working on that today. And it's just about putting stuff out there so people can see how we do our work and test it out and see what's going on and just kind of engage with the community. So it's just good fun.
Yeah.
And then this.
And these guys.
James?
So
Go on.
this is a project. It's about a party, which you can see here. It's something that's in production at the moment. I don't want to give too much away. I don't know how much I'm supposed to say about this.
Well, we're releasing this. It's going to be it's another web toy experimentation with After Effects to HTML5, and yeah, Milo has designed up these amazing characters. This situation is probably another pub conversation about making a game about pooping a party, and that's essentially it. You have to figure out. It's a bit of a point and click, explore, and get these people out of your house.
There's going to be all sorts of lovely little... oh, there he goes.
So yeah, and it's it's a lot more of that.
It's a whole lot of that, really.
So yeah, keep your eyes out. I think we're releasing some stuff this week just to kind of get the hype up. And thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for listening.